That is innovation in its finest. I feel like everyone that gets this millionaire status, it's because of that kind of thinking.
What's up, peeps? This is Todd, and welcome back to my show. Today, I have the beautiful and talented Savannah Smiles, aka Graham's girlfriend on Instagram. And we just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about, being in relationships and how to stay frugal within that couple, and pretty much just couples that have similar goals. So welcome, Savannah.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Todd.
Awesome. Hey, well, it is great meeting you. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, I'm a big fan of your channel. Obviously, I know Graham Stephan's channel, and I think we're pretty similar in that me and my wife are incredibly frugal, and obviously you and Graham are as well. And I think a lot of people, when they think about like money and finance, they go straight to like the Lambos, the private jets, and the Rolls Royces. And not that you don't have to get any of that, but I think there's like baby steps to get there and working your way up. So I thought I would bring you on and, to see if you could talk to the people about the importance of frugality and sticking to a budget and what that has meant for your relationship and your just financial journey.
Yeah, so I think that actually me being with Graham has helped me more financially than it hasn't been. It's nice to have someone to kind of be that second voice if I kind of say, hey, I have this goal, like, help me stick to it. I want to save this much this month. I want to make this much this month. And every month I'll tell him and remind him repeatedly, probably to the point where it bothers him, to be honest, but I'll tell him repeatedly, like, my goal is I want to make this much on YouTube. I want to put out this many videos. I want to do this. Like, I want to, move jobs to this. I want to do it. And so kind of it's nice to have like almost kind of accountability with someone else to say, hey, hold me to this, instead of, just me going, I guess I'll get myself Chipotle. Like, I've earned it, a little bit, because there's a part of it, like, Graham would never make me feel bad for buying myself Chipotle or buying myself anything. Because he does say that I work really hard and I'm very, very frugal and I deserve it. But there's a certain element of that psychological, Graham lives in the house with me. He's going to know if I order Chipotle. So I shouldn't order Chipotle because that's a waste of money,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's funny because it's all a balance, right? I mean, like, you're very successful, so you want to enjoy your money from time to time. But part of the reason that you are successful and that he's successful and that, me and my wife have gotten to this level is because frugality has played a big role in what we do. And so I totally hear it. I know I watched I watched the CNBC Make It video with you two and talked about like cooking at home. So my wife and I are trying to do that. But one thing that I want to show you and Graham how to do, which we talked a little bit about before off air, is secret shopping. It is awesome because then you can go get Chipotle and you can get paid to go.
See, that sounds ideal. I would love for somebody just to pay me to do the things I like anyways. Because now, like, I have to, if I want to get paid for the things I like to do, I have to vlog it. Which, then I'm like, oh, it's a tax write-off. But if I get paid to do it, that's even top level, because then I don't have to vlog the whole day, because nobody wants to watch me just go to Chipotle, which is why I never vlog that. But if I can do that secret shopping, then it's just like the monetization loop just, keeps going. It leaves YouTube and goes into real life.
Right, exactly. And it would actually be incredible if you vlog a secret shop to Chipotle, because then it's like double dipping. You're getting ad revenue on your free food. Does that just blow your mind? Like,
that is innovation. That is innovation in its finest. And this is, because yours was a millennial millionaire. I feel like everyone that gets this millionaire status, it's because of that kind of thinking. Because like, I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm 21. Like, if I was, it would be, I feel like it'd be insane. But I feel like it's always the thinking like that of like, how can I make this work for me that makes people like a millionaire like that? So it's funny you mentioned that, the double dipping, because that's exactly something Graham would say.
We share one car, which is not a sexy one, by the way. It's a Ford Focus. It's like 11 years old. And that we had roommates and we secret shop. And so people were looking at me like I was insane because I was doing all these things. I know a lot of people watch your channel and they follow you on Instagram and they look up to you as, like a role model in this space. So if you had to give any tips of advice
so weird.
Right?
It sounds so weird.
It sounds so weird.
It sounds so weird. Cause like, I know I'm even kind of close to hitting 10,000 on Instagram. And for me, I'm like, wow, like that's a lot, like 10,000 people. I can't even name 10,000 separate names.
Right.
Or like, I'm about to hit 25 on YouTube and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think like anyone even looks up to me is like,
Yeah.
Stressful. Sorry to interrupt your question,
No,
but
no, it's funny you mentioned that because I have realized sort of the same thing, and my channel isn't nearly as big as yours yet. And same thing with my Instagram. Like I'm right around 3,000 followers on Instagram, but 2 weeks ago I had like zero. But so I was recently on the Bigger Pockets podcast, which for anyone who may not know, it's a real estate podcast, and I was talking about my strategy and basically how, I built a 7-figure net worth. And since then, I have had thousands of people message me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you had any tips or advice from people that have this idea that they want to get on Instagram or they want to start on YouTube, or even if they don't want to do that, they just want to live a frugal lifestyle and be financially savvy. Do you have a couple of tips for them on how they can get started and stay the course?
Yeah, okay. So definitely for the social media route, because I think that those almost kind of can be a little bit, I can't give advice that kind of blankets over all of it. I would say that for that, you really have to stick to it, and you have to be okay with taking criticism that isn't constructive, if that makes sense. And you have to learn how to take constructive criticism, because you're going to get a lot of that thrown at you, and it's going to be sometimes just a little overwhelming. So there's definitely this aspect of you have to be kind of ready to put yourself out there and to get kind of criticized, but also to have people look up to you. It's a lot at once. It's gonna be overwhelming. One day you're gonna have, people looking up to you and asking what they should do, and then other people who are, trying to ruin your day. And it's a lot. But, to get started on that, if you can handle it, go for it. And the only way to go for it is literally to just do it. The only way to start is, I used to run competitively. I think I've mentioned that in like 1 or 2 of my videos. We always used to say the way to start a run is just to take the first 5 steps out the door. And really, I look at most things like that. The only way to get started on, a social media platform is just to post. Even if you don't quite know the niche you're going to go into yet, explore it, because you're not going to be able to figure it out without doing it. Sitting around and going, maybe I do a channel about this, maybe I do a vlog channel, maybe I do a makeup channel, you're never going to figure out what you like if you don't just take those 5 steps out the door and go for it. And especially with YouTube too, you need to build your watch time. So even if you're trying out a few different videos, if you can get even an extra hour of watch time by posting something earlier or whatever, it'll mean a huge difference for when you get monetized, when your growth. I mean, you know how many times I look at too, there was times that I wanted to start and I felt scared to start or whatever, and I didn't know how I was going to be able to handle it. And luckily through my relationship with Graham, I got to kind of see what it would be like and everything it would entail, and kind of got to make a more informed decision on it. But there's so many times I look where I wanted to start in 2017 and just kind of imagining where would I be now if I started then. So you never want to kind of feel that. So if you're feeling it, just go for it.
I think that's
that
awesome.
was really sorry.
No, that's perfect. No need to apologize, because I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I debated starting this YouTube channel for 3 or 4 years before I got on, and then I just got on like 3 months ago. So yeah, it's because there's so much hate out there, which I don't know if you've received a ton, but I have received a ton of it. Like, people are so mean, so that's pretty crazy. But you just got to have thick skin and get through it. And I'm sure that you're able to talk about that with. I mean, you know so many people now with all those different collaborations, so I'm sure you have some good ideas there. But that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that advice. And then if you have any sort of tips about just frugality or that aspect, or different ideas, like if instead of going out to do whatever, you can do this instead, anything like that along those lines.
Yeah, okay. So I didn't always used to be I used to, especially like when I was in high school and such, and it sounds weird because it sounds like for some people it's a very long time ago, but I graduated high school 4 years ago, and like throughout the whole time in high school I did not save money, did not do whatever, until I finally, like when I graduated and I really started working like more and more. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. For me, I kind of turned it into a game of how high can I get my savings accounts, and how little or how cheap can I get something for. Kind of became the game for me. It's like how little can I spend in a week and get by. dumb or as bad as that sounds, it was, you know, oh, if I go here to get lunch, it's like $5 cheaper, which means my total spending for the week goes down by $5. I'd make it a game to see how low I could get it or to see if I could match other weeks. And so it really became fun to like find creative ways to spend less or any of that. It became really, really fun to do. So for someone who's trying to get started on being more frugal or whatever, it kind of turned into a game for yourself. Track, you know, even what you
did in a normal week without trying to be frugal or whatever, and then try to maybe knock it down 10% of your fun money. Obviously, don't skimp out on your bills that are like water bills, housing bills, etc. But on your like miscellaneous spending, just try to see if you can knock it down 10% and then another 10%. And there's going to be a certain level where you get it down so low where you're just going to try to match it every week. It's so much fun if you can look at it from the perspective of like, this is a game to see how low I can get it.
That's awesome. No, I love that. You know, I do the same thing, and I try to get things for free and or even make money on some of the expenses. And, you know, it's not that I'm going to be a cheapskate forever. I wouldn't even call myself cheap now. I'm very frugal though. But, you know, like I want to raise my kids in a waterfront house, you know, right on the lake with boats and stuff. And when people ask me, you know, like, oh my gosh, you're 30 years old, how do you have this lake mansion? I'll say, you know, it's because for 5 and 6 years, I spent nothing. I saved everything, I invested it, and, you know, now I can live however we want. Well, Savannah, it was a pleasure meeting you. It was awesome having you on, and I think you're doing great. I am so excited for you and your channel. And thank you so much for coming on today. It was a pleasure just being here, and you are awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, it was great meeting you too. I'm really excited for the collaboration that's going to be over on my channel once I actually edit it, because I take so long to finish anything.
Yeah, and let me just throw it up there now. If you haven't already subscribed to Savannah Smiles, make sure to head over to her channel and click the subscribe button. We will be doing another collaboration on her channel as well, and we'll see you there.